Hey you guys, welcome to A Day in the Life with Ali. Ali here. It's been a little while since I just jumped on and did a chat with you guys. I think the last time I did a chat, I was in on the coast of Kenya, and since then I have moved to explore other parts of Kenya. So I know it's a little dark in here. Let's see if I can get this curtain to sit back. But I am now in Diani, or no, I'm sorry. I was in Diani and I am now in Nairobi. And I just wanted to do a quick touch base and let you guys know how things are going. It's a different world. I know I did like 3 videos, kind of doing a comparison between Tanzania, which I'd been for 8 months, the last 8 months, and Kenya, what I've experienced so far. And I'm glad I did that comparison because so many people have been asking or expressing interest in coming to the east side of the continent of Africa. And, there is a number of cities that sit on this border as well as are landlocked but are on the east side that a lot of people are migrating to. We've got Uganda, we've got Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, Ethiopia is up here. We've got people, jumping over to Cairo, which is in Egypt. I know a lot of people say that's not the east side, it's the north side, but it's on the east side of the continent, so I consider it the east side. Mozambique is on the border. Of course, South Africa's east, Zimbabwe and Malawi and different places like that. And I haven't been able to get to even 1/3, 1/4, 1/8 of the places that I really wanted to go to, just due to this COVID thing that really hasn't made it easy to move around like before. You could go from country to country fairly easy before. Jump on a plane, train, automobile, but you didn't have a timing thing that was a part of that, which is the COVID test, along with the additional fee that is associated with that test. That can be upwards of an entry and exit of the cost of a trip. And so, I've kind of sat back a little bit and taken a little bit of my time, and I hate it, honestly. It's like I really wanted to be moving a little bit more, but I also found that I enjoy as much as I like to move and shake. If you know me, I also am a very settling kind of person. Like, once I like to find things that feel good energy wise, that sit well with me, and those become like my hub. I still want to move around, but I want a little hub. I want a place that I can call home, I can go back and forth to. And I had that in Tanzania, but it was time to explore and get out, and see what else is over here, because you get so many reports. There's so many people who like so many things, and they prefer, people have moved to Rwanda and they like that better. And they walked right into Rwanda with, restrictions and things like that. And that didn't bother them, because what else was there, the things that they really were looking for to enhance their livelihood, rather than having to wear a mask or, a curfew. And we have, I say we now because I've been here for a month, a little over a month now, in Kenya. and there is curfew for those who want to uphold the rule. And there is, a mask requirement that you have to wear your mask outside and inside. And it's really not that big of a deal. And while you want things to ease and there not to be restrictions, because I'm not going to say go back to normal, because I don't know that what we were living in was oh so great, because the normal that we were living in, from my perspective, my world where I come from, was a lot of lies, a lot of dishonesty, a lot of pumped up living that isn't really reflective of how people really, function in a space. And what I realize is moving around to some of these other Wakanda. Let me just say that it's not Wakanda, and even in Wakanda they had issues. The fake Wakanda, the Wakanda that we want to be. What I take away from that, and what I want to share with you guys, with those who are coming with me on my journey, who are listening and watching my videos, those of you who are commenting, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the following, and I've noticed, like, and I'll get back to what it is I want you guys to get from this. People get a little upset, and there's a lot of bickering and back and forth, and I'm appalled. I'm appalled a little bit at the bickering that happens online about other people's opinions and experiences. It's interesting. And so, part of why I'm on this journey is not just for me. It's, not everybody gets this chance and gets to do it so aimlessly, so to speak. I may write an ebook on how to take aimless into purpose, but it's been a blessing to be able to kind of just spread my wings, so to speak, and explore kind of the way that I want, without a timeline, without a guideline, without this requirement to do this, to go here, to go there, outside of what I feel is necessary for me to do, and what my pocketbook says I need to do. But I really want people to see, like, bits and pieces of everything, that it doesn't have to just be a vacation if you want it to be more. It doesn't have to be what you see on media. It could be the depths of it if you give it enough time and chance to explore. It doesn't have to be the old norm that we're used to, if you choose to make it into something better. This has kind of been a time to branch out and redefine what I want, or further define what I want and how I want it. And I'm going to tell you guys, not having all the answers makes finding the answers easier. Most of my life competing. I had 3 brothers, and they made me fight in a good way, step my game up and always be on my toes, and that translated into everything I did, whether it was fun, recreational, or getting into the workforce. Always being competitive and trying to better myself and do the next thing. But in doing that, you tend to already have thought of all the possibilities. And when you think of all the possibilities, you're limiting yourself to other potential possibilities that you couldn't have thought of, or possibilities based on where you are, based on what's possible in that realm, because sky's the limit. Of course, you can pretty much do anything, but you can do anything with certain, realizing that every day I sit here and I'm just like, should I leave? Should I start, mapping out the next space? Do I leave and come back? Because I have things in Tanzania that at some point I'm going to need to go and get, and I only have a 90-day visa here in Kenya. I didn't get the year visa, which I should have. So I don't have all the answers for once, and it's scary and it's nice at the same time. Like, I want to plan things. I'm meeting people, and it's funny because the more people I meet, the more people want me to, settle down and do something in this space. And, and I can honestly say, I don't know if I'm ready to sit in these spaces that people are ordaining for me, because I've afforded me some amazing opportunities and experiences and connections and all these wonderful things. But now I'm kind of doing it for me, and I want this journey, my journey, to also be this explorative journey for you all too, where you guys are getting to see things unabridged, edited. It's gonna be a little bit edited, but because sometimes I gotta edit. But like, these are the differences. These are the things that you're gonna experience, and I want to be able to even talk about the things that really are paining me. And I realize I can't really do everything and talk about everything on this platform, because a lot of people don't understand. One of the things that I'm learning day in, day out is this concept of comprehension and understanding lingo and how we all kind of talk with one another and things of that nature, right? And understanding that we all don't translate things the same. Like, so right now I'm in a country where, English is predominant language. I mean, it really is. They have their native tongue, which is another language. I can't remember the name of it, but it's something that you find further in the west of Kenya. And then, English and Swahili, which is, they're more of a slang Swahili. Very similar to Tanzania, but it's, I guess, once you get down into the neighborhoods, the hoods as I call them. I want to clarify, when I say hood, I mean neighborhoods, where the people are, where, you find the clumps and different things like that. They speak differently, same as in Tanzania. There's a book taught, a school taught, and then there is the street taught, right? And what I realize is, here it's actually really, it's nicer because when you're speaking English, because even just natural tonation and commentary is easily picked up here. It's very familiar with people here in Kenya, as opposed to Tanzania, because English is not, it's spoken there, but it's not as highly spoken as Kiswahili. So I realize that a lot of people misunderstand humor. I think they misunderstood my humor in the U.S. too, but misunderstand humor, or misunderstand, just kind of, where you're going and where you're coming from, and people interpret those things in ways that are not intended, and so that can kind of go off kilter when you can't have a one-to-one conversation. And so I actually want to take some of these discussions to Clubhouse. So if you guys are on Clubhouse, send a message in the comments and let me know, and maybe and send me your email. I think you have to send your email or a phone number, but anyway, we can figure out if I can add you, or we can link on Clubhouse to start having some more in-depth conversations, because I don't want to limit it to expats from the US, from the UK, expats in general, I want to make sure that there's a mix of locals and expats, because I think a lot of times, there's bickering and fighting just in general around the world. And I find that it's crazy when we're bickering and fighting like over things that people, their preferences, in terms of just preferences in general. It just really doesn't matter what a person's preference. Like when we're arguing back and forth, that's not what the intent is. The intent for, most of us who are showcasing our livelihoods is to give you a sampling of, what we're doing. There's might be some interest, or we feel like what we have to share is, worthy of putting out there in an open space. And, I'm grateful that so many people reach out and say, Ali, where are you going next? Where, can you show? And it's not like I'm doing like these extravagant things, jumping out of, planes, which I'd like to get that on my schedule, to do, because it's something I've been wanting to do. But it's not like that kind of stuff every day. I'm just like, I'm living, and I'm trying to make my way, and I'm meeting people along the way. And those granules, those tidbits of information, tidbits of communication and relation with different people is what I want to share with you guys. That's the part, that's the beyond. How do I get my visa? What website do I go to? When do I need my PCR? When are they going to stop letting people as vaccinated? All this stuff, all of that preliminary stuff. Like once you have that down and you're here, you're there, wherever here and there is, now how do you relate? How do you commune? How do you get around? How do you function? And that's the part that I want to, share with you guys. And even your experience is going to be different than mine, because we're different people just in general. So I want to share that actually, guys, if you follow my, subscribe to my YouTube, I'll be sharing the last two experiences that I had. One was at a school in an area called Masaai, which is northeast of Nairobi, in what they still consider a slum. They actually call it a slum, and that's what the locals call it, so I'm not calling it that. That's how they refer to it. And it's an area that is like robust, like packed full with people. And there's a couple of schools literally right there, which is very convenient, because the kids literally can come out of their apartments and bam, they're right at school. And just the experience I had there, and then opportunities to support that organization, that teacher, those students, kids were just, they were so precious, y'all. Oh my God, they were just so precious. It makes you sit back and just appreciate. There's nothing wrong with where you grew up and what you have and all those things. You shouldn't like feel like, it's such a bad thing where you come from. Remember that there are people who have less, and being able to experience that and experience these kids who are just beautiful, and then say, okay, now what can I do? Not out of a sympathy kind of thing, but out of, wow, they are filled with the richness of life, of their lives, and this is what they know, so they're very happy with it. But how can I behind the scenes make it do just a little part, whether it's presence, hopefully some of the kids want to learn yoga, and I'm excited to share some of that with them, to give them ways to kind of cope with things that they're going through in their lives. Just because they're kids doesn't mean that they aren't going through things. And we learned a lot about how traumatic and how things begin to change once these kids are 9, 10, 11 years old, and why these classroom sizes begin to shrink as the grade age goes up in these classes. You go from 30 kids in a class in this first grade, pre and first grade classes, to 8 kids in a class once you get to the 8th grade class. And where are these students at? They go through every day, and finding out how you can impact them in a positive way that's part of my journey. That's the part of this bridging cultural gaps. It's not even about them bridging a gap in them learning. It's about me being able to learn from them and then taking that and passing that on to you guys. And then another experience I had yesterday when I went to, I should say the other day, I don't know when you guys will see this, but I went to the Elephant and Rhino Orphanage. The experience I had there, and you have the ability to volunteer at this orphanage as well as adopt elephants. And when I post that video, I'll let you know what I did there. You know, the experience, it's a little bit different now. It's not as touchy-feely because they don't want the animals to get sick, so you do have to wear your mask. You're not allowed to feed them directly, but if they come to you, you can pet them. But, you know, no coddling, so to speak, you know, because animals can actually get sick and animals can catch the virus and any other thing. It doesn't even have to be COVID. It can be are still very young. It's important for us to follow those guidelines. I want to share that with you guys too, because there's so many things that we can do here as well. And this was one of the organizations that I'm more interested in participating in because it's not a zoo. The animals are in a forest kind of area, so they are pretty much free to roam around in this space, this orphanage space. They aren't tagged, and they are rescued, and you get a card and it tells you about each elephant that is in the facility, how they came to be in the facility, and the process to kind of get them strong enough and big enough to release back into the wild and hopefully be associated and connected with a tribe out there in the wild as well. And I'll explain kind of what they share with us on that part as well. So anyway, you know, I've been just wanting to, you know, kind of explore and figure out my next steps, and you know, I just thought I'd check in with you guys and you know, just share more about where I am and what I'm doing here in Nairobi. I may be going back to the coast. I do really like it in Kenya. It's just a different feeling and a different experience, and everybody's is different. Everybody's is their own. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: get out there and figure it out for you. Figure out what feels good, what feels right for you and for your family. Don't wait for the norm to come back. Don't wait for what we had in 2019 to come back. I don't know that it'll ever be the same. So if you constantly are waiting for everything to snap back in place, you may find yourself 2 years later down the road going, oh wow, things didn't come back. And not that you've wasted time, but you may have missed opportunities or delayed opportunities to go in a direction that you know you could do greater things. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I am, y'all. I'm just chilling here. I'm got this beautiful view, this great bed sitter, which I'm going to give you guys a review. I'm going to also do like a tour video of all the places I've stayed. I think this is my 8th or my 9th place in 15 days since I've been in Nairobi. So I want to show you some of these places, and all of them have been like bed sitters, so except one was an apartment, full 1-bedroom. So I'll show you some of that as well, you guys. But I just want to check in and say hey to everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. And again, I appreciate you guys following me. I appreciate you guys subscribing, share with. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, you guys. Y'all know how to contact me. You also can schedule time if you go on mindyourbodyandsoul.com. You can contact me there. You can schedule some one-on-one sessions with me for travel mentoring or consultation if you're looking to take a trip and I can advise you on that trip, or things that kind of maybe like a path or things that make sense to do. Let me know. If you're interested in the food demos, the health and wellness, and yoga, let me know. Right now I have an ongoing Tuesday morning free class on a platform called abusymbolstream.com. You just have to register your email there. It's free. And every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, I come on and give you guys about 15-20 minutes, probably about 20-25 minutes of the yoga flow that you guys can take with you and do with whatever. I also have my most recent yoga flow is on my YouTube too, so you guys can check. Appreciate y'all so much. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all know the drill. Toodles and noodles.